First of all, welcome back to Inside the Music with Andy Schwartman. This is part 3. Tony, what are your feelings about this upcoming world tour regarding the first album?
I, there was mixed feelings. I'm just going to get into the music part of it first. Is the one thing about the Black Crowes was, even though this album, Shake Your Moneymaker, was such a huge success, they shied away from it. As the years went on, the band kind of changed more from a straightforward rock and roll band and more to a jam band with some of the albums they released afterwards. And these songs rarely got played live. Hard to Handle, Hardly Ever, She Talks to Angels, like very rare to show up in a set. They were a band that loved deep cuts. So for these songs to get played live again is exciting, especially to hear the record in its entirety. It's been a long time coming for a lot of these songs to get back into a Black Crowes set list.
Right. When was the first time you ever saw them?
I didn't see them until later, probably within the past 15 years. And I'll tell you a real quick stories. I was supposed to have knee surgery the night they were playing at the Taft, and I was supposed to have knee surgery the next morning. I was on crutches, and a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, I have tickets to the Black Crowes if you want to go." So I was like, well, I'm not going to turn that down. So, I hobbled down on my crutches. I had to fast, which meant no beer, no anything. But I get down there, and she's got not just like backstage passes to meet the band, but I actually went side of the stage on the Taft to watch the Black Crowes set.
Nice.
And one of the roadies saw me on crutches. He pulled over a road case, sat it down there for me. I sat down on the side of the stage, Taft Theater, to watch Black Crowes.
Nice.
So concert memories I'll never forget. But that was later, man. That was after they had broken up and gotten back together.
Yeah.
I've probably seen the Crowes 3 or 4 times since that time.
That's awesome.
How about you? Have you seen them?
Yes, I have. It was November 5th of 2013, and in that year, I was at this one day during that year. I was at work. All right, I was at everybody's, and I had told Woody. I said, "Hey, the Black Crowes are coming to Cincinnati, and they're going to be playing down at the Taft Theater." And he said, "Okay, when are they playing?" And I said, "November 5th." And he said, "Would you like to go if tickets are affordable, reasonable, however you want to put it?" And I said, "Absolutely. I mean, I've been a fan of theirs since their first record, so I would love to be a fan, or I would love to see them." Well, the next thing I know, he goes, "Okay." So, and I was just like, I mean, I've been a fan of this freaking band since their first album, for goodness sake. But the thing of it is, and I'll remember this forever, it was so freaking loud. I had the little in-ears in, and even that could not drown out the loudness. It was insanely loud, but it was awesome.
So, you said you've been a fan since the first album. What
Yes.
did you think of the records since Shake Your Money, with like Southern Music Companion and Amorica, Three Snakes? What are your thoughts on the catalog after Shake Your Money?
Well, firstly, I first heard, well, I remember hearing their stuff. I have their Greatest Hits album, that a tribute to a work in progress. And I remember hearing stuff off of Amorica and Three Snakes, off of there, and I loved it, and it was one of those, gee, I wonder what the rest of these 2 records sound like. So I had never heard them until recently, and I went, whoa, this is good.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to them like crazy, and I'll be honest, I mean, I can never shy away from Shake Your Moneymaker. I mean, because it was the very first thing that I had ever heard. And like I said earlier, my cousin teases me all the time by saying, dude, how many times have you heard that record? I'm like, dude, shut up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, hello, you don't hear, you don't, if you ask me the same thing about Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, or Soundgarden, I'm gonna tell you the very same freaking thing. Shut up.
Hey, Andy, before we start to run short on time for this episode, I wonder if you guys would share your thoughts about the 30th anniversary tour that the band has scheduled for this summer. I wanted to mention real quickly that tour is scheduled to start on June 17th in Austin, with shows that are planned all the way through November in Europe. And I thought it was curious checking out some of the tour dates online, all the different VIP packages available. You can get early entry to the venue, side stage seating, front row seats, premium seating in rows 2 through 12, all kinds of swag like a flask, a VIP laminate, a personal photograph with the band, autographed lyric book, and of course a meet and greet. Tony, I thought it was interesting. You actually raised this question a couple weeks ago in a recent conversation we had here on Inside the Music with Andy Schwartman. And what does this sort of fan experience look like with this pandemic going on now? What will that tour look like this summer if it happens, or into the fall? And what do those VIP kind of things look like going into the future? And I'll just say, Andy, we've only got about 2 or 3 minutes left here if you guys want to just share your thoughts there.
Well, I definitely think this is going to be one of those tours that if it can happen in any capacity, it's going to happen, because it is the Shake Your Money record, and I do think it is the Shake Your Money effort from the Robinson brothers. And I'll just leave it at that. I think the VIP stuff, you're going to see the meet and greets taken out of the mix. But I do think you'll see a lot more swag and experience type things added in. And if they're not going to pull the plug on this tour until the very last minute, because I think they need this tour.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, if it was so easy to reconcile their brotherly relationship, then why the heck can't they reconcile with Steve Gorman? Hello, God, I mean, you're talking about the guy that was the drummer on all the records. I'm just saying.
What's that AC/DC song, buddy? Money Talks.
Exactly. I'm just saying, why the heck can't they reconcile and cry a little bit and hug and all that crap and go, dude, I'm sorry for what I said or did or whatever. I am so sorry. Let's just, put that behind us and let's rock. Hello? Is that so hard?
I wish it was that easy. You're absolutely right. But I think you've talked about Steve Gorman's book, and if you read Steve Gorman's book, the brothers are never going to I'm not going to say never. I've learned never to say never in rock and roll, but until they need Steve Gorman to make a little extra dough, that book did a lot of damage.
But it's a great read.
That really affected my opinion of those guys in the band, and I've been a fan of them for over 30 years. Andy, we are running out of time here. Okay. I wanted to point out something funny to you guys before we go. I noticed doing the research for this episode, the S in Shake Your Moneymaker is a $sign. So that's like
yeah, I noticed that too. On the back of the record,
Yeah. Why don't you sign off for now?
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching and listening.
What's your face?
Thank you everybody for watching this episode of Inside the Music. There'll be more to come. And thank you, Chris and Rich, for an awesome first record.
Thanks for being there, Tony. We appreciate you every time.
Love it, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Good job, Andy.
See ya.
Thanks for watching, everybody.